On January 6, 2025, Canadians awoke to unexpected news. Justin Trudeau, their charismatic and often controversial Prime Minister, had announced his resignation as leader of the Liberal Party. While he remains Prime Minister until a successor is chosen, the announcement sent shockwaves through the nation and beyond. After nearly a decade at the helm, Trudeau's departure marks the end of an era, leaving Canadians to ponder the future direction of their country. His decision, attributed to a confluence of factors, has plunged Canadian politics into a period of uncertainty and transition. Trudeau's tenure, marked by both soaring triumphs and bitter disappointments, has left an indelible mark on the Canadian political landscape. From his historic election victory in 2015, propelled by promises of sunny ways and a return to progressive values, to the challenges of governing a minority parliament and navigating a global pandemic, Trudeau's time in office has been anything but uneventful. As Canada grapples with the implications of his departure, the nation stands at a crossroads, poised between the promise of renewal and the uncertainty of change. The political landscape is further complicated by the Liberal Party's minority status in Parliament. Securing another term for the Liberals was already an uphill battle, but with Trudeau stepping down, the path forward seems even more precarious. The party must now navigate a leadership race while simultaneously fending off a confident Conservative opposition, eager to capitalize on the political vacuum. As Canadians prepare for a new chapter in their political history, one thing is certain: the legacy of Justin Trudeau, a leader who polarized as much as he united, will continue to be debated for years to come. The seeds of Trudeau's resignation were sown long before his January announcement. The preceding year, 2024, proved particularly turbulent for the Prime Minister and his government. A series of missteps and scandals chipped away at Trudeau's carefully cultivated public image. The Freedom Convoy protests of early 2022, though seemingly quelled, left a lingering sense of unrest and exposed deep divisions within Canadian society. The resignation of Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland in December 2024 delivered a further blow to the Trudeau government. Freeland, widely respected for her handling of the economy and international affairs, stepped down over disagreements with Trudeau's approach to escalating trade tensions with the United States. Her departure, a significant loss for the Liberals, signaled deeper rifts within the party and eroded public confidence in Trudeau's leadership. Compounding these domestic challenges were growing pressures on the international stage. The ever-unpredictable Trump administration in the United States, with its penchant for protectionist trade policies and bellicose rhetoric, posed a constant challenge. Trump's threat to impose a 25% tariff on Canadian goods unless Canada agreed to increased border security measures sent shockwaves through the Canadian economy and put Trudeau in an impossible position. The weight of these mounting pressures, both internal and external, ultimately proved too much for Trudeau to bear. His resignation, while unexpected in its timing, came as a recognition of the political realities he faced and the dwindling likelihood of securing a fourth term for his party. While Trudeau cited personal reasons in his resignation speech, it was clear that a confluence of factors contributed to his decision. Internally, the Liberal Party was grappling with growing divisions and a sense of fatigue after nearly a decade in power. The charisma and youthful energy that had propelled Trudeau to victory in 2015 had waned, replaced by a sense of disillusionment among some party members and a yearning for a fresh perspective. Externally, Trudeau faced a perfect storm of challenges. The global economy, still reeling from the aftershocks of the pandemic and grappling with the impacts of climate change, created uncertainty and anxiety. The rise of populism and nationalism, both at home and abroad, further complicated the political landscape. The ever-present shadow of Donald Trump loomed large over Canadian politics. Trump's unpredictable nature and his administration's aggressive trade policies forced Trudeau to constantly defend Canadian interests on an uneven playing field. The threat of crippling tariffs on Canadian exports hung over Trudeau's head, creating a sense of economic vulnerability and limiting his government's ability to maneuver on the world stage. The cumulative weight of these internal and external pressures, coupled with a sense of personal exhaustion, ultimately led Trudeau to conclude that the time was right to step aside. His resignation, while a shock to many, was not entirely unexpected given the tumultuous events of the preceding year. Section 4. A nation divided, public and political reactions. The news of Trudeau's resignation was met with a mixture of shock, resignation and cautious optimism from Canadians. Supporters expressed gratitude for his years of service and pointed to his accomplishments, including his commitment to social justice, environmental protection and reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. They lamented the loss of his leadership at a time of global uncertainty and expressed concern about the direction the country might take under new leadership. Detractors, on the other hand, greeted the news with a sense of relief, viewing Trudeau's departure as an opportunity for a fresh start and a chance to address what they perceived as his government's failings. They criticized his handling of the economy, his perceived lack of transparency, and his perceived inability to unite a deeply divided country. The political reaction to Trudeau's resignation was equally divided. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, long a vocal critic of Trudeau, wasted no time in going on the offensive, accusing the Liberal government of being out of touch and incompetent. He seized upon the opportunity to paint the upcoming election as a referendum on Trudeau's legacy, promising real change and strong leadership under a conservative government. The New Democratic Party, NDP, and the Bloc Québécois, while acknowledging Trudeau's contributions, also used the occasion to highlight their own policy priorities and present themselves as viable alternatives to both the Liberals and the Conservatives. The Green Party, struggling to maintain relevance in a rapidly changing political landscape, called for a renewed focus on climate action and environmental sustainability, regardless of which party formed the next government. Section 5. Navigating uncertainty. The Liberal Party in search of a leader. Trudeau's resignation threw the Liberal Party into a state of uncertainty. With a federal election looming and no clear successor waiting in the wings, the party faced the daunting task of choosing a new leader capable of uniting the party, appealing to voters, and navigating the complexities of governing in a minority parliament. Several high-profile contenders quickly emerged as potential successors. Chrystia Freeland, whose resignation as Deputy Prime Minister just weeks earlier had sent shockwaves through the party, was immediately touted as a frontrunner. Her experience in finance, foreign affairs, and international trade, coupled with her reputation for competence and toughness, made her a formidable contender. Other potential candidates included François-Philippe Champagne, the former Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry, known for his business acumen and his ability to build consensus; Mark Carney, the former Governor of the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England, who brought with him a wealth of experience in economics and international finance; and Mélanie Joly, the current Minister of Foreign Affairs, admired for her intelligence, her multilingualism, and her ability to connect with voters. The leadership race promised to be a closely contested and potentially divisive affair. The party, long accustomed to Trudeau's charismatic leadership, would need to decide what kind of leader they wanted going forward. A steady hand like Freeland, a savvy political operator like Champagne, a financial heavyweight like Carney, or a fresh face like Joly. Section 6. A shifting political landscape, the Conservatives' opportunity. The Conservatives, under the leadership of Pierre Poilievre, were quick to seize upon the opportunity presented by Trudeau's resignation. Poilievre, known for his sharp wit, his populist rhetoric, and his relentless attacks on the Liberal government, sensed a chance to capitalize on the public's desire for change and the perceived vulnerabilities of a party in transition. Poilievre wasted no time in launching into campaign mode. He crisscrossed the country, hammering away at the themes of affordability, freedom, and accountability. He promised to address the rising cost of living, reduce taxes, cut government spending, and restore Canada's reputation on the world stage. He appealed to Canadians who felt left behind by the Trudeau government, promising to be a voice for the ordinary people who felt ignored by the elites in Ottawa. The Conservatives, long relegated to the opposition benches, sensed that this time could be different. With a charismatic leader in Poilievre, a clear message that resonated with voters, and a Liberal Party in disarray, the Conservatives had a real chance to form the next government. The political landscape, once seemingly predictable, had shifted dramatically.